Hello, Dolly Tribe. Hello, hello, hello. This is Evie. Oh, I'm going to talk about some doll anatomy today. Sunshine. And Dolly Tribe, I hope everything is going well and wonderful in your life. I'm here today with a commentary about Barbie and her doll anatomy and the different things that it symbolizes, just what makes Barbie Barbie in a more physical sense. So, we're going to get into it right now. And I just want to say in advance that I hope you guys enjoy this commentary. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. And Dolly Tribe, here we go. Also, any of the places that I researched my information, I will be putting a link to that in the description box below. So I am going to get into Barbie's doll anatomy, also a little bit with Ken, and I'm just going to go from head to toe, and I'm going to speak more so on the plastic aspects of it right now. You guys have heard some of this before, but just bear with me. So Barbie, starting with her head, is made of PVC, polyvinyl chloride, mixed with plasticizers for flexibility. Her hair is mostly comprised of polyvinylidene dichloride, PVDC, but other polymers are also used, including nylon and polypropylene. Barbie's torso has been used for PVC, the polyvinyl chlorine, and then also low density polyethylene, LDPE. Today's doll torsos are mostly made from ABS plastic, or you can also call it acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. Barbie's arms historically are made from PVC now, but most use EVA, which is ethylene vinyl acetate. Barbie's legs. Historically, early Barbies used PVC, polyvinyl chloride. The bendy snappiness of Barbie legs back in the day, and likely some today, are made of polypropylene. So now I am going to get into more of the human aspects of Barbie's doll anatomy, as well as Ken's. Now I'm going to talk about the more human aspects of the doll anatomy. Also taking a look at just the Barbie doll anatomy as it is and go from there. I'm going to start from head to toe, starting with the hair. All Barbie dolls, or a variety of Barbie dolls, have long, medium, and short hair. Numerous hair colors and styles, which all represent women of different times, eras, and trends. This goes for Ken as well. The doll has a painted-on scalp with most dolls. The hairlines differ just like in real life. The head and face of Barbie and Ken dolls have jawlines, ears with decent detail. The doll's eyes are of many colors and shapes. Dolls have eyebrows that are painted on, as well as lashes and eye bags and creases sometimes. All dolls have noses that are built into their sculpt. So are the lips. Some Barbies now have dimples, freckles, moles, and skin conditions added, such as vitiligo, that are painted or printed on. Some Barbies and Kens have teeth. Some do not. And like humans, they all have chins. All Barbies have necks. They also have shoulders, chests, forearms, upper arms, and elbows. The dolls have wrists and hands. Many Barbies have detailed fingers and hands. If you look close enough, you can see knuckles and nail beds on most doll hands. Also, dolls have elbows, and they do have details. And they also have textures and features, just like human elbows. The made-to-move doll bodies are the closest to real elbows you'll see on a Barbie unless an individual decides to customize the doll to have more realistic and detailed elbows. Looking closely, you can even see what would be the soft flesh of the palm on the hand of a Barbie or Ken doll. Now, Margot Robbie has a quote about Barbie, and I'm going to read it here. This quote is from Margot Robbie in the Vogue magazine interview, I believe that was done on May 24th of 2023. She says, I'm like, okay, she's a doll. She's a plastic doll. She doesn't have organs. And if she doesn't have organs, she doesn't have reproductive organs. And if she doesn't have reproductive organs, would she even feel sexual desire? No, I don't think she could. Therefore, she is sexualized, but she should never be sexy. People can project sex onto her. Thus, yes, she can wear a short skirt, but because it's fun and pink, not because she wanted you to see her butt. Now we're going to move on to Barbie doll's chest and torso. Barbie has 2 mounds on her chest to represent breasts. They have no mamilla or teat or nipple. She has no areola, and Ken doesn't have any of those things either. Barbie usually has a smooth torso and abdomen area, whereas Ken's is very muscular like washboard abs. Most of my research states that Barbie didn't receive a belly button until 2000. This was a time she was receiving a lot of backlash, likely all throughout the 90s, about her body image and the consequences that it could have on young girls. They say the belly button or our navels are our first scar. For 41 years, Barbie didn't have a belly button. It made sense because Ruth Handler created Barbie, yet she wasn't biologically born. Humans are attached to umbilical cords inside our mother's womb. That umbilical cord was a highway that oxygen and nutrients were transported to the baby or fetus until we first breathe life. Barbie's navel is simply a slight depression at the center of the abdominal complex. Let me discuss things below the navel. That's more controversial, isn't it? In the Barbie movie, Margot Barbie stated that she and Ken have no genitals. I think the point behind this is to remove genitalia from children's minds while in play. And so because of that, I'm going to read another excerpt from the Vogue interview that Greta Gerwig was explaining what she thinks about Barbie's anatomy and such. She said Barbie was given boobs, but no nipples, and Ken was given a smooth bulge, as Mattel referred to it at the time. Together, their peculiar partial anatomy hints at a world of grown-up things hidden from view. Gerwig, you feel that's something there, which is part of the allure. It's unclear how this all kind of works, but it's not without intrigue. This vague sense of mystery is captured in a comical exchange Ken and Barbie have in front of her dream house. Now, this is where Gosling and Robbie were standing there as Barbie and Ken, and he was like, I wonder if I can stay over for the night. And she's like, okay, but what would we do? And he's like, I'm not really sure. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, but he's not really sure. So I always think that's a funny part in that movie. But that's pretty much what they're talking about there. And it's funny that Greta Gerwig said that, the anatomy hints at a world of grown-up things hidden from view, because I also wrote that down before I found that quote. So where was I? Let me see. Okay, let's see here. In the Barbie movie, Margot Barbie stated that she and Ken have no genitals. I think the point behind this is to remove genitalia from children's minds while in play. It's an area of discussion adults shouldn't partake in unless said parent or guardian of the children playing with the dolls feels ready to discuss this. No one corporation should deal with that anyway, in my opinion. So what does Mattel do in most cases? They give Barbie and Ken molded on underwear. I miss the days dolls had cloth underwear, but I understand their take on the genitals issue. Mattel does a brilliant job at removing the idea of sexual nature and genitalia from child's play, as it has no place there. Usually, if a child has any knowledge of sexual intimacy, they've acquired that elsewhere, from society at large, TV, their own family, or other adults or situations adults put them in. Does human anatomy ever show up in doll play? Yes. There are Dr. Barbies, dentist Barbies, and pet doctor veterinarian Barbies. Are there hugs and kisses going on in child's play? Yes. Dolls have lips and arms. I'm glad Barbie has knees and ankles, though. Made-to-move dolls are a gold mine for Mattel because we adult doll collectors want Barbie to have the ultimate posability. I wish I knew if kids love that level of articulation like we do. Speaking of posability, Barbie and Ken have feet and toes. These are not so detailed as other dolls in the market. Feet don't have a high level of importance in the doll world because they're likely covered by some sort of fashionable doll shoe or sneaker. It has been said that scaled up to human size, a Barbie will fall over and have to walk on all fours. It's no secret Barb's has unrealistic proportions, but she is just a doll. Nobody even came for the Cabbage Patch's size and level of realism. However, I do have a bone to pick. My smoke is for people, most doll collectors, who claim to have preferences for the standard doll body. Let's face it, Barbie's standard body is freakishly below the average woman's physical stature. She's even smaller than a fashion model in weight and the length of her arms and legs. Barbie did start out as a fashion model. However, over the years, her body and career choices have varied. Now Barbie represents all women, of all skin colors, ethnicities, nationalities. She represents women of all backgrounds that exist in the world of today and yesteryear. It's a big cringe to me that Curvy Barbie is seen as obese and fat when we all know she is nearer to a real woman's body type. The average woman. Yes, Curvy Barbie is the better representation of most women. Yet still, there are both men and women out here acting like Curvy Barbie is terribly obese. I see the same thing happening in Monster High G3 threads online. It's disgusting and I don't like it. Here are some pictures of Barbie's measurements upscaled to human sizes. We can play in a doll world, but we shouldn't play dumb. Check these out. These comparisons are from the Tech Insider. I actually took pictures of them while it was playing on my TV. So here is a standard Barbie with an average fit young lady, and their height is the same. The legs are the same. The arms, Barbie's are a little bit smaller. Barbie's neck is a wee bit bigger. Her waist and her hips, though, are small. They're not representative of a real life woman. It's just what it is. And the feet are definitely freakishly small. So, because Barbie would wear a size 3 in women. So her feet would be tiny. And she would not be able to really walk appropriately. But 3 is what they're saying her foot size would be. So this is representative of the waist and the hips are something that draws people to when they look at women. And you can see that those are freakishly small, which means it doesn't really represent the average woman. Now we're moving on to the curvy doll. The height is the same as the young woman's. Her legs are a little bit larger. Her arms are a little bit smaller. The neck is the same as standard Barbie, so her neck would be a little bit bigger than the average woman's. But the waist is spot on. The hips are a little bit smaller. and the feet are still freakishly small. So these same proportions, if you look at the waist and the hips, those things represent real women. Real women have waist and hips, and you need to be able to see that the curvy doll is more representative of the actual woman. You know what I'm saying? Of a real life woman. Curvy is just more on the spot for that. So I really don't understand when people say the doll doesn't look healthy and things of that sort. It's just kind of bothersome because we can all see that even with this young lady here, she's still a little bit younger. She would be on par with Barbie's age. So I think these measurements are good. And then we move here to Ken. Now, Ken is the same height as the average fit young man, and then his neck is smaller, but his is larger. Ken's neck is larger than Barbie's. His bicep is just a couple of centimeters off from this guy here in the picture. The waist is smaller. Once again, unrealistic because the waist is smaller. The calves are a little bit larger. The legs are a little bit larger than the average guy, but the feet are still smaller than the average guy's feet. So we can all conclude that Barbie standard, Barbie curvy, Barbie standard and Ken standard are not up to par. They still have a lot of work to do with being more realistic. Now, the reason why I wanted to do a video about Barbie's anatomy and then also kind of hone in or focus in on the curvy Barbie and how she's perceived is just due to the fact that Ruth Handler created Barbie to give a voice to women and girls and to give girls confidence and just to give them, a funner way to play. You know what I'm saying? She wanted them to have more fun. And little girls, they can sense the body image situation in society, what society is trying to push. A lot of times it's not really focused on health. It's more so focused on, you're unhealthy, you're this, you're that. But it's never really given the whole thing of, we need you to be healthy. So when people criticize the curvy Barbie, which I think it's really strange to criticize curvy Barbie, it really makes me wonder what exactly is going on, because everyone likes to say, oh, I'm the doll hobby is my escape from the real world, when in actuality, the real world is always there waving at us through what we do within our doll hobby. I mean, we have people that take off the head of a doll that has a curvy body and put it on a standard body and call it their preference. We have people that, will say that they think that the curvy Barbie's body is not healthy. And I just wonder if it's just this societal thing that leads people to believe that a doll, just because she looks bigger than the rest of the other dolls, that she's unhealthy, when in reality, she, if you compare her and scale her up, is the healthiest one out of the group. It just makes me wonder, are we pushing anorexia for little girls? Are we pushing, because even in the pursuit of being thin, you can still do unhealthy practices. You can still do things that affect your health in a negative way. And I really think we're not really thinking, even as adults in a hobby. I don't think a lot of us are really thinking about that. And, there's some people, they truly just don't want to think about that. And I completely understand. But we're really doing ourselves all a disservice if we're not really looking at it. Now, I'm not going to say that, people who play with only the standard doll, have some kind of issue or something. If you like that, you just like it. But please don't call it your preference, because I've heard that too. It's not a preference if you exclude something. And if you're excluding the curvy Barbie body, then it's not your preference. You just like standard Barbie doll bodies and just leave it at that. But don't bring health into it. Don't bring anything else into it, because it's not about that. It's not about healthiness or anything like that, when this doll body is the representation of all of that. So I really just want us to think more about it, because it's something that bothers me, actually, because ever since I saw that video saying where they put the measurements up and said that Curvy Barbie was closer to a realistic looking woman, and Ruth Handler was a realistic looking woman. She wasn't totally thin. She wasn't totally, she wasn't fat. She was just, within a nice size. And I'm pretty sure she led a pretty healthy lifestyle herself. At least she tried to. And I think that's what we're all striving for, is to, try to present the healthiest way of going about our lives. And I really think when people worship that standard Barbie body or the model muse body, that what you're really saying is, I don't like women as they are. That's how I look at it. Now, that may not be really what it is. And we are delving into a more fantasy-like world. But at the same time, it's like, what are we really doing here? So that's all that I wanted to make us think about. Food for thought. Also, and this is why I think in the Barbie movie, Gloria's monologue towards the end of the movie was so powerful, is because all of this is also true for a doll. All of this is also true for a doll. Unfortunately, the body image thing, what is perfection is the standard body perfection. Curvy Barbie cannot be the standard of perfection. All of these different things. And it's more so true for a real life woman or girl. Looking pretty, you have to look pretty. If you don't, you are going to be invisible, or you are going to get clowned. And little girls sense that. Women definitely know it for sure. I know that. And it's just too much sometimes. It's too much, because then even in your hobby, when you're trying to enjoy yourself, and you look at, you go to YouTube and you try to watch a video, or you're on Instagram and you're looking at somebody's reel, or you go to TikTok and somebody else has something up. And if it's not a standard of something, if it's below the standard, it's going to get dragged. And Curvy Barbie, unfortunately, gets dragged. And it's irritating to see that as a person who's trying to navigate in her hobby, and the real world stuff is coming through. And it's going to come through anyway. That I do know to be realistic. It's going to come through, because there are people behind these accounts. There are people who run these accounts. And when you try to go to them to get some enjoyment, then you also have to get a little dose of, well, if you look bigger than normal, you're not okay. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. I've always gotten comments about how pretty I am and all this kind of stuff. I've got comments on that. I'm not the most gorgeous person in the world, so please do not get on here and try to quote me acting like I'm the most prettiest person in the world. I'm not. But I'm not bad looking either. So when you get online and you see these people, and I've gained a little bit of weight. So when you get online and you see these type of things going on, and it's just like, really? Like, can I escape this? No, there's no escaping for you if you do not fit into a particular mold in society. And we all know this is true. Some of you guys right now that are listening to this know this to be true. If there's anybody that want to give pushback, you can do so in the comments, and I'll try to address it maybe in a later video. But I really do think that this is a problem, and quite frankly, I'm tired of seeing it. I'd be saying this even if I wasn't a bigger size person. I'd still be saying this because it is what it is. Now, I wouldn't necessarily be talking about this if I hadn't have seen that video where it was scaled up. It was still bothering me before I seen this video, but I would still be saying this had I seen the video. So I just want to let you guys know that, it's okay. It's just something that I'm bringing up, like I said, for food for thought. It's just something that I like to do that with different topics in the doll community. It's just food for thought. It's something that we need to reflect on and see how we're getting that, decoding that the stuff from society about image and body positivity and all of that different stuff, and trying to be healthy, eat healthy, exercise, and just be the best version of ourselves. So that's what I'm pretty much doing here in this video. I had a lot more to say, and I had to revise this 1,000 times almost. Yes, I had to revise this quite a bit because it just wasn't, I don't know. I just didn't know how to say certain things. And I, had to stop and kind of reflect and, just kind of see where I didn't want to come off as preachy and that sort of thing, even though I think I usually do in some of my videos. But anyways, I just want us all to always be in that mode of reflecting and thinking about the type of things we do and what we put out into the atmosphere, because I think sometimes society has us doing these type of things that are harmful to others in an indirect way, and it still does affect people. So Dolly Tribe, thank you so much for dipping in the Dollmansphere with me today. Yes, it's a little bit heavy, but not too serious. Definitely get in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my perspective on this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to keep the sunshine shining in your life. Yes, Dolly Tribe, let's stay positive. Make sure to monitor your surroundings. Remember to try to reduce plastic consumption in the doll hobby and in other aspects of our lives. And just thank you so much once again, and many blessings. Bye, Dolly Tribe.